This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And here we are, January the 26th, 2022, and I am talking to somebody across the pond. Yes, in the UK, folks. I've interviewed many people out of the UK. In fact, the person that got me started on Zoom was somebody resident in the UK. So have good reports with people over there. I have a lovely, lovely woman on here today, all smiles and has a lovely, lovely accent. I have the wonderfully talented Laura Ellen Wilson. How do you do, Laura?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I have to say, Laura Ellen Wilson. Now that we got figured out that I was going on the wrong Ellen Wilson on IMDb. but the
It
Laura,
happens.
well, did you know the Laura Wilson I was going on looked kind of similar to you? So it's an easy mistake to make, you know.
I'm gonna have a look. I've never really been told that I have anybody who looks like me before, so this should be interesting.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think it was Scotty McCoy who referred me to you, if I remember correctly. I know it's been a little while that we've been trying to put this together, but um, I do know that you're part of the cast for Halloween Evil Lives. Am I correct?
I am indeed.
Okay. Yeah. I've interviewed people associated with that film. Um, Talk about that project and how you got involved with it.
I got involved with that just by connecting with Michael, the director, on Facebook, and I saw that he was doing a fan film for Halloween, and I'm a massive fan of the Halloween franchise. So we just got talking, and obviously COVID is a massive thing, and I'm across the pond, so it's been a little bit difficult to organise sort of when I'm going to be heading over there. But we are talking now. We think we might have some dates towards the end of May, but we're still sort of talking about that, keeping our eye on the travel and everything. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I've only seen a little bit of a script so far, but from what I've read, I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, I've had Michael Taganen on here. You know, he's very passionate about it, and of course, he wants to honor his late friend in making this project, and of course, Jimmy Presley is also involved with this film, and he's a friend of mine online, and so
Yep.
yeah, so yeah, so now it's all clear channels of how this is all working out. Um, but yeah, I have Michael Taganen on here, very passionate about it. I too am a huge Halloween fan. I love the original Halloween. I think it's a masterpiece in horror films. I've had Sandy Johnson on here, who was Judith Myers in that film, and she's a doll, absolute
Wow.
doll. Yeah. Um, anyway, have were you always a fan of horror films?
I've always been a fan of horror films. There's something about being scared, watching something that sort of scares you. Especially, it's probably not the best idea, but when you're home alone,
Mhm.
you think, you know what, I'm just gonna put a horror movie on and really scare myself so I can't sleep ever. It's just it's the craziest thing, but I've always, until I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years old was probably the first time I watched horror films, and since then I've just been addicted.
What's the first horror film you recall watching when you were young? Was there an introductory film?
Yeah, the introductory film was Jaws.
Ah, good choice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It's always stuck with me. The scene. Oh god, his name's just gone out of my head now. Where he falls into Jaws's mouth on the boat.
Oh, Robert Shaw.
Yes, that's it. That has always stuck with me.
Yeah, I've seen Jaws on the big screen. I'd say 3 or 4 times. I think 4 times anyway. And it's
Wow.
great to see with an audience. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever
Mhm.
seen it on the big screen?
I've not actually. No.
Yeah, during COVID, actually, they had some, they're playing a few classic films to limited capacity at our theater. And Jaws was one of the ones that they played. And so I got to attend that. And
Right.
yeah, yeah, Jaws is a masterpiece. And it was the film that kicked off what they call the summer blockbuster.
Yes, I can imagine.
So, what are your favorite horror films besides Halloween?
I like a bit of a mix. It kind of depends what mood I'm in. I do like a good slasher, but I quite like the psychological horrors as well. The others, I'm not sure if you've seen that.
The others, yeah, Nicole Kidman, yeah.
Yes, yes, I love that. What else have we got? I love The Descent as well. It's a bit of a creature feature.
I haven't seen that, but I've heard a lot of people like that film. I haven't seen it. I should check
It's
that out.
great.
I heard a lot of great things about the final girl in it, so I like a good, strong final girl.
Yeah,
So I'm guessing that one delivers in that department.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm. Okay. Um, Before I talk more about um, your love for horror films, I would like to get a little bit of your background and how you come to get into acting.
I've I've always it's always been an interest of mine. Performing, I wasn't really too sure what capacity I'd like to perform, either dancing, singing, acting. Um, so I kind of, did my own things, like putting on shows in the living room for the parents. Um, and yeah, I sort of hit high school and I developed a really strong interest in drama. And over here we have exams called GCSEs, where in the final 3 years of school we choose certain subjects, and one of them was drama. At the time, my parents weren't too happy about me going down the acting route just because it's not very stable job or industry. So they kind of deterred me from taking the drama, which I was really upset about. But I ended up going to college, studying musical theatre, and that was quite a battle to get my parents to, allow me to do that. But I'm sure they could clearly see there was a passion there. So yeah, they went along with it. After that, I went over to Mexico to work in a hotel as a singer and a dancer, which was insane, amazing, best experience ever. And I guess it was from there I got the travel bug. So I ended up sort of going to Italy. I worked on a couple of cruise lines, sort of Germany, Norway, a lot of Europe, a lot of the Caribbean as well. So yeah, I was doing that for around 6.5 years. Um, the plan was always to do the active stuff first while my body was still able and I was still young enough. And then when I sort of decided it was time, then I'd sort of move over into acting. And I guess around this time 5 years ago was the time when I kind of felt like it was time for me to sort of transition from the traveling and perform to acting. And yeah, that's basically what I've been doing ever since. I still like a good sing song on a Friday night, you know, but acting is the one at the moment. So yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Did your parents take you to movies when you were young?
We more sort of went to pantomimes and theatre.
Okay.
We lived quite away. Well, at the time anyway, we lived quite away from the closest cinema. And with the closest between the two was a theatre, so we were kind of always going to the theatre, which was nice. But yeah.
So talk about Halloween Evil Lives and what your role is supposed to be in the film.
So I'm actually still talking with Michael about this, and we're sort of we're working on it together. But that's pretty much all that I can really say at the moment, because we're sort of working on the character, where her journey kind of starts and ends. So yeah, I can't really give that much information on that. I'm so sorry.
Are you communicating with Jimmy Presley and Michael McGlynn on this as well, who are also involved with the film?
I've spoken with Jimmy once, but that was right at the beginning when I first got announced in the film. The other name, no, I've not. I've not spoken with that person yet.
Who have you not spoken to?
You said two names. There was Jimmy Presley and somebody else.
Michael McGlynn?
Yeah, no, I haven't spoken with Michael McGlynn yet.
Okay, all right. Because I know that Michael's a heavily relied person behind this film. That's all. I'm not involved with it, but I have interviewed Jimmy, and I've interviewed Michael Tagain, and so yeah. Well, I want to look at some of your other projects here because you have a film here called Christmas Sleigh that
yes.
Yeah, Christmas horror. I love Christmas horror films, whether it be Black Christmas, the original, or Secret Santa, or Silent Night, Deadly Night, or Bad Santa. Well, Bad Santa. Bad Santa, sure. Christmas Sleigh. Now this looks like it would be right up my alley. Talk about this film and your role in the film.
Cool. Okay, so Christmas Sleigh was actually one of my first films that I was in. We filmed it in Bulgaria. So it was a really nice experience. We filmed in a really small town in Bulgaria. It's called Borovets, and the town itself was a little bit of a horror movie. I was genuinely scared there, but we had a really nice cabin that we were all staying in. It was just one of those small towns where they're not really used to having tourists or outsiders come in, so sort of every time we walked down the street we were kind of getting looks. I was like, oh gosh. But yeah, Christmas Sleigh, it's set around four friends who go to Scotland.
Okay.
But at the time, Scotland didn't have any snow. So they went to Bulgaria. So yeah, it's set in Scotland, and it's basically about a guy who is dressed as Santa, played by Frank Jakeman. He escapes a mental institute, and yeah, he
Usually
kind
how
of
those things go.
yeah, he makes himself known to the girls in this cabin. So yeah.
So so it's a slasher film, you're telling me, right?
Absolutely.
You know what? This I gotta look into this because this looks like it would be right up my alley. I haven't seen Christmas Sleigh, but boy, does it ever stand out to me. Is there any? Did you get
It's a
put?
really fun watch.
Well, I don't want you to give anything away, but were you in the makeup chair at all for this movie?
I was and I wasn't.
Okay.
I can't say anything else because that will really give something away.
Well, you play a character named Chloe. Talk about what?
Yeah.
Talk about her.
Chloe's a little bit misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
The leading girl, her character believed that Chloe and her boyfriend were having an affair behind her back, but it never really happened. So Chloe was kind of the bad person from the beginning. But there's a couple of really cool scenes. I can't say too much because it's going to totally give it away.
Okay. Nope. That's okay. That's okay. Well, I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
bring up.
she's a really fun character.
Okay. All right. Um, let's talk about The Singing Bird Will Come. Talk about your role in this film.
Cool. So, Singing Bird Will Come was also one of my first films.
Mm-hmm.
That was with a company called Ghost Dog Films, and that was shot in a small place called Shrewsbury in England, sort of the middle of England. I played a character called Zoe, who
Mm-hmm.
appears in a lot of flashbacks. Human, but she also appears in the present day film, Not Human.
Okay. And going up through here with Monster. Well, that's a very simple title.
Uh,
You play Emily.
I do indeed. That
Uh-huh.
was Emily in Monster was my first leading role. A
What did you?
dream of a character.
How did you like playing a lead?
I loved it. I mean, I felt a lot of pressure, especially because I've actually just worked with this director in this company. I came back like 2 days ago from set. Um, the director and writer is a guy called Matt Shaw, and
Mm-hmm.
he writes extreme horror for a living. And he has quite a large fan base, to say the least. And Monster was his first sirens, sorry.
Yeah.
Monster was his first book to screen adaptation of one of his books. And there was a lot of interest from his fan base, mainly in America, who were really, really excited for Monster. And I guess I felt a lot more pressure because there was already a fan base out there waiting for the film.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the one thing that I'm really glad is that I read the script before reading the book, because the
Uh-huh.
book is very graphic. The script, there was obviously a lot of the graphic details were missed out of the script, because as a film you can't really put some of that stuff in, right?
No.
But yeah, she was a dream to play. Everything was great, and it was a fantastic first experience as a lead role. I've always said, I was actually speaking to Matt the other day. I said that Monster we shot it in, I think, either 9 or 10 days. And I feel as though I did like a year at drama school training in those 10 days. It was incredible.
Well, you were also in Vengeance, which was a Friday the 13th fan film. Do you have a favorite in that franchise?
I'm gonna say part 5.
Part 5.
Yes.
Why part 5? Why part 5?
Because it was done by Tommy McLaughlin, and
That
he
was
was
part.
also
That
in
was
Vengeance.
that was part 6.
Oh
Oh, he'll love that. That's Jason Lives.
no! I'm terrible. I get honestly. Do you know what? The worst thing about these franchises is that I get really mixed up between like the first ones, like in what order they go in. Part 6. I meant part 6.
I think part 6 is the best written one of the franchise. I've had Tom McLaughlin has been on here twice. I'm good friends with Nancy McLaughlin.
Awesome.
Yeah, Nancy played, of course, Lisbeth. She's a good friend of mine. I've had Tom Matthews on here a couple times, and I had Whitney Ryback, who played Roy the paintballer. And I had Carrie Noonan on here, who played Paula. Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene in Jason Lives that you like that stands out, or a favorite kill?
Jason Lives.
Yep. Part 6. Oh boy, you're really.
I'm not gonna lie. It has been quite a long time since I've seen it.
I'm sure Tom will love hearing that.
He's gonna
hate. See, he's out. He's got a script ready for the next one. He won't cast you if he knows that you haven't watched this film in a while.
No, I'm blacklisted now. I know it.
Well, Inventions, of course, Tom McLaughlin plays a caregiver at the gravesite, and C.J. Graham plays Elias Voorhees. I met C.J. Graham at Frightmare in the Falls last year because we're both involved in 13 Fanboy. So, and of course, Steve Dash, who was Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2, this was the last thing he did before he unfortunately passed away. Do you have any memories of them?
I didn't actually have the pleasure of meeting Steve Dash. I got Vengeance, I think, maybe 6 months after he passed away. But when I was on set, everybody was talking about him, all the memories that they had and the scenes that they shot. So yeah, I'm really sad that I didn't get to meet him because everybody spoke about him really, really highly.
Yeah, he was Sackhead Jason. Yeah. Anyway, talk about your role in Vengeance.
So I play Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a very small role, but I think she made a pretty big impact with one of the scenes. I don't know. Have you seen it?
I have seen it. Yep, but it's been a while.
Say that again, sorry. I think you just broke up.
Yeah, I know we get a little delay here, but yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. I remember Jason Brooks playing the the drunk guy in it, and
Yes.
I remember Steve and Tom and CJ. So
Hmm.
yeah. But talk about the role
Cool.
of Trinity.
Yeah, so Trinity, like I said, it was a pretty small role,
Uh
but
huh.
um, she had a really awesome scene where she went skinny dipping with her on-screen fling. Um, that was really fun because that's the first time I shot in water.
Oh, I
Um,
remember that scene. Yes.
I didn't remember that.
Was the water
It was
cold?
a fun one. Actually, the close-up shots we shot in a pool, and the owners of the pool made sure it was heated for us, which was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
The wide shots was in an actual lake. On that day, it was absolutely freezing, the temperature outside, but it was actually warmer in the lake when we got in. So it was like, it was the weirdest thing.
Okay. I'm looking at your other films here. You were in another horror film called Next Door.
Yes, that was with the same company that did Monster.
Yeah, Matt Shaw. Yeah, I noticed the name again. Yep.
Yep, that was a fun one. It was an anthology. So I got to play, let me have a see. I think it was two different characters in that one. One of them was a first for me. I was dressed as a French maid. And it was a
Okay.
little bit of a sort of it was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek dark comedy little segment of the film. Um, it was my first time on camera being overly flirtatious, and wearing a costume like that. Um, but we had a lot of fun. The good thing about working with horror guys, and I think that's why I enjoy working in horror as well, is that everybody just has the best sense of humor. And you could be shooting like the darkest scene, but then as soon as the camera starts rolling, someone makes a joke, and then everybody's up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Next Door was really fun to shoot.
Well, I'm looking to, I keep looking ahead on your IMDb, Coven of Evil. You got to understand, I haven't heard of a lot of these titles, but this also opens an opportunity for stuff for me to view in the future because I'm always looking for new stuff, and plus open up other people the chance to see these too because Scotty McCoy doesn't just recommend anybody from come on my show. So that's why, I said yes, and I've had people on here before that,
Oh.
yep, oh yeah. So, yep, Scotty, of course, the host of Slasher Scotty. Yeah. So, Coven of Evil.
Mm-hmm.
I see pictures on here of you being seductive.
I was, yeah. That was quite it was a surreal sort of like a cult kind of film. And it was a sort of it was more like a dream sequence, that section.
Mm-hmm.
That film was actually shot over because a lot of the cast were all over the UK, so it took quite a lot of organisation to get us all together.
Uh-huh.
That film was probably shot over, I'd say, gosh, let's see, maybe 2 years. So it
Okay.
took quite a while to film. But the footage that I've seen, I haven't actually seen the entire film, which is so annoying. I've been trying to find it. But I got told the other day my uncle was watching it on Netflix TV, and I was like, "What? What channel is it on?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just finished." I was like, "You could have told me when it had just started." um, he said it was awesome. Like he really really enjoyed it. So and he's quite a hard person to please. So I will take that. But no, from the footage that seen. It's really good. It's really nice quality. The acting, the performances are great. There's some really great performances in it.
Okay. Yeah, I saw a picture of you. It looked like you were in a scene that kind of put me in mind of Eyes Wide Shut, and you're wearing a red top. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know whether it was lingerie, it was just up close, and there was a guy behind you, and
Yeah.
looked like you guys were getting romantic, but
Yes.
you're getting romantic in a very strange setting.
Yeah, and it was freezing as well. We were outside doing that.
Do you find it hard to do romantic scenes?
I think the past year or so, I've kind of felt, because I'm still quite new to acting. I'd say it's probably about 5 years. And I was a little bit tentative at first on what sort of roles I'd be comfortable playing. So I did kind of play it safe at first. I think over the past year and a half to 2 years, I've grown a lot more comfortable with myself, and being able to watch myself on screen as well. So I'm a massive critic of myself, as I'm sure every actor is, to be honest. But the romantic scenes, I've only sort of just started feeling comfortable with them, and I actually enjoy them because they're fun. Like, you can really have a laugh with the other actor.
Okay.
Whereas before, I kind of shied away from them, you know.
Okay. Go look up more of these because I'm gonna go through these. You have, of course, Bloody Nun 2, The Curse. I don't even know what Bloody Nun 1 is.
I shot that over lockdown. It was just a really small segment of the film, and it was one of the main characters was looking at like a video on their phone, and I was
Okay.
that video. It was just a tiniest little role, but it was fun.
You got a lot of interesting. Put this way, if these were on devices, I don't have television. I just got set up to watch my Blu-rays. But if I had like Shutter or something like that, a lot of these I'd be curious to check out. Introspectum Hotel, for example, that looks interesting.
Yeah, that one, that was shot just before COVID happened, at the end of 2019. No,
Uh-huh.
2008. That was in Romania. And that was really fun. It's definitely not a film for under 18s, though. There's a lot of nudity in it. Not from me, unfortunately, but I'm joking.
Unfortunately.
No, there is.
You mean you wanted to do nudity? Do you have problems with nudity?
I would rather I'd rather do nudity in a fun way.
Okay.
Like, for example, Vengeance, you know?
Okay. All right. I I couldn't do
Yeah, I'd
nudity
have
at
to
all
probably.
because I'd scare the audience if I did it. That's the reason
No.
I'd scare the audience. Nobody will see that. But no, I was wondering what your take was. You get a good attitude towards it then.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's just obviously I wouldn't rule anything out
Mm-hmm.
without looking at a script and talking to maybe the director or producer about the kind of role, and the kind of scene that sort of has the nudity in it. But yeah, it's always a little bit, ooh, you know, when you see there's this little bit of nudity, there's always, I don't know, it's just a really strange sort of feeling knowing that someone's going to be seeing you with nothing on telly.
Well, you got the Poltergeist Diaries on here. Now, interesting thing is, I'm not an actor, but I do appear in 9 James Balsamo movies, and one of them is It Wants Blood, where I appear on a television screen being watched by Eric Roberts. And of course, Eric Roberts is part of the Poltergeist Diaries. Did you get to work with him?
I didn't, unfortunately. It was
Okay.
during the pandemic. So it was again a video call
Okay.
recording. Same with the same company is the I Hear the Trees Whispering, which is also on my IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Hungarian company called Happy Films. And I was supposed to be going out to Hungary for both the Poltergeist Diaries and I Hear the Trees Whispering, but COVID. But luckily, in about 5 weeks, I will be heading out to Hungary to work with this company for the first time in person.
Well, you get a lot of films listed here that are either in post-production, complete, or filming, like Halloween Evil Lives is filming, and or pre-production. And I don't know what you can tell me out of these projects. Is there any of them that you wish to comment on, that maybe you get a role in them that you're really looking forward to playing, that you might want to touch upon? Anything at all?
Yeah, so the two projects mainly, Chained,
Okay.
that, yeah, I'm not sure if that's in either pre-production or filming or post-production now, because we actually just finished filming it
It's funny when
two days ago.
the moment you said Chained, I clicked on the link on IMDb. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, we just wrapped on that a couple of days ago.
And again with Matt Shaw.
It's got a game with Matt Shaw. I know.
So you work well with him, huh?
Yeah, we have a really good laugh. We've got a really good team. They all sort of come back for the projects. And yeah, it's a really, really nice working relationship. And each film, yeah, it's got its own difficulties, but the core of the production itself is the team. And yeah, we all just work really well together. But Chained again is an adaptation of one of his books. And it's got a really, really fast turnaround because we're premiering at Seattle Crypticon. I think it's on the 20th of May. So Matt, while we were filming, at the end of each filming day, he was actually editing what we'd done that day into a rough cut. So he was so tired. But ultimately it worked really well because there was a couple of scenes that didn't quite work. So we were able to, before we left location, we were able to sort of rectify that and make sure that we put scenes in that did work. So it was a really good way of working. But yeah, Chained is essentially based on two people, Linda and Lucas. The start of the film, they're both chained together. The audience doesn't really know why, but both Linda and Lucas know exactly why. And it's sort of down to the audience and their perception of their relationship, loose quotations, to sort of figure out what happened.
Well, do you have a website that you want to plug on here that people, or any way that people can contact you?
I use social media quite a lot. I don't have a website. I really enjoy the interaction of social media. So
yeah,
on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you can find me under Laura Ellen Wilson. Simple as that.
Well, it was simple as that until I realized there's another Laura Wilson. I got thrown off there a little bit. Yeah, but nonetheless, okay.
That could have been a very different interview, couldn't it?
That could have been. Yeah, I kept looking at that and I was like, oh, okay. Although I'll be quite frank, I think
That's really funny.
I think the films that you got listed are more interesting than the one on the other one.
Yes.
Yep. I'm not just saying that. Like Christmas Sleigh, for example, is something like I need to see that. That looks like it right up my alley, you know? Something about Christmas
It's a
horror
fun
films
one.
that
It's
are
a
just
really fun one.
yeah. So do you have any charities that you're involved with that you want to plug and promote on here?
I charities, everything is with animals for me. So I do. I don't know if it's. I'm guessing it's a little bit different in Canada and the US to
Uh-huh.
the UK, but we have RSPB, which is the Royal Society for the Preservation of Birds.
Okay.
We have guide dogs for the blind. Um, yeah, there's oh gosh, there's a lot. No, animals.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any pets?
I have two dogs, but if it was up to me, I'd have a house full of animals.
I have a kitty. He's over there ignoring me right now.
Oh.
Yeah, he knows if he gets over here close, I'll stick him on camera. Yeah,
Camera shy.
he's camera shy, but sometimes, you know, if he gets over here close, I'll grab him, but I think he's caught on to me for it. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I like animals as well. So what part of the UK are you located in?
I am up in Manchester. It's a little bit north in the centre. I'm a true northerner.
Yeah, I've never been overseas before, and I just or any place like that. So, what's it like where you are? I mean, here we got snow on the ground. We're cold right now. We're waiting for the
Oh.
spring weather.
Yeah, I mean it's cold and it's drizzly and it's grey. But we don't have any snow anymore. Mind you, this year we only had like a centimetre fall, like this much. It's a bit disappointing. Usually we enjoy a bit of a white Christmas, but yeah, it's very drizzly and grey a lot of the time. I'm not really selling it to you, am I?
Did Santa Claus find you?
He did. He did. It was a quiet Christmas this year because we were saving up for a family holiday when we're all able to, and when where one of us is not working, or when we can all get holiday time. We don't know where yet, but it's going to be a special one because we've not managed to be able to get away for a while, as have a lot of people with COVID. So yeah.
So, what did you get for Christmas?
Oh, I got chocolate.
Oh, that's always nice.
A little, yeah, a little touch of alcohol. Let me have a see. Just I got oh, see, I'm gonna give away the secrets of Zoom now. I'm wearing a nice jumper, but I got these pajamas.
Oh, gee, they're nice.
I got some nice pajamas. You can never have too many pajamas. So yeah.
There you go. Yeah, nothing like getting comfortable. I usually slip into jogging pants or whatever whenever I get home and just relax with the cat, So I certainly understand that. Those are nice and colorful though, so there you go. Good choice. Well, is there anything
Yeah.
else? Is there anything else you want to plug and promote on here?
My next project, which is the one in Hungary, Project Skyquake.
Okay.
That's going to be a really interesting one to look out for. I'm not overly sure in terms of distribution what is happening with it yet, but it is available on IMDb to take a look at. There's a few articles online about it as well, and obviously on all of my social media, I'll be plugging it as well, and any updates will be coming up there. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Laura? It was wonderful having you come on here today and basically introduce me to a lot of these projects. I got to check some of these out. Christmas Sleigh, I think I'm going to check out first. I think that's right up my alley. So
I can tell you're excited about that one.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be in line. I remember at Christmas time, I was like, I'd say about from the 12th to Christmas Eve, I watched a Christmas movie every night. I watched a lot of Christmas horror films though too, so that might be something I'd put on that rotation every year. So there you go. I'm going to check that out.
Well,
and
I
see
hope
what
it lives up to expectations.
Well,
it's certainly fun anyway.
Well, you know what? I look forward to it. I look forward to it. Um, yeah. So, anything else you want to plug and promote before we close off?
I just want to say thank you very much for having me on. It's really nice of you to sort of take time out of your day and speak to little old me across the pond. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, I like speaking to people across the pond. I've never been across the pond, and you know what? It's always nice to talk. This has been so great, like jeepers. When I was going to school some 30 plus years ago, it's like we weren't able to do stuff like this. It's interesting what technology and social media has done, where we're able to talk like this.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is. Before I let you go, though, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Say that again.
Would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just state your name and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Hi, my name is Laura Ellen Wilson, and you are listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
Oh, you got that first go. That was perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to keep watch on your IMDb and watch on your social media and see what's coming up because, next year around this time, I'd love to have you back.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I appreciate the introductory to your filmography. And maybe, next year when I have you on, I'll be able to talk in detail about some of those projects a little better,
I know. I'm sorry. I hate it when I can't say much about certain things.
Well, you know what? Again, I was looking under the wrong Laura Wilson because the Laura Wilson I was looking at didn't look far off from what you look like. So
I'm gonna have to have a look at this.
An easy mistake, and because I kept thinking, is this the right? I even thought of that because it's like I think it was Scotty McCoy that referred me, and I was like, I don't recognize anything on here that would have associated from that. And
oh no.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
Yeah, well, we got connected and we get to promote your film. So all's good in the end.
Yay. Oh, thank you so much.
God bless you and thank you so much for allowing me the honor.
Oh, thank you.
You have yourself a wonderful day. Be comfortable in those wonderful new pajamas of yours. Relax.
Yes.
Relax with the two dogs.
Oh, thank you.
You take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.